Hi BookTube, this is Kelly. Thank you so much for watching Books I'm Not Reading. This is my fourth attempt at making this video. And this is a review of Ray Robinson's novel Electricity, as well as the film adaptation, which was never released in America, but is actually available for free right now on Amazon Prime and Tubi TV. So I will link to the trailer to the film down below. But this is a book and a film that epilepsy is, I don't know, it's almost like a character in the book, and it just hits so close to home that I'm having a really hard time trying to figure out how to talk about it, about both the film and reading the novel, which were very different experiences, and the things in them that were painful for me to watch or to read about, you know, were different from each. So I started this book last weekend, and the first 100 pages I just really struggled with, because yeah, I never read anything like this, and to be honest, Jason and I have not found very many books, maybe no other novels, where epilepsy is such a critical component of the book. If you know of something, please let me know in the comment section down below. I have read the nonfiction book, If the Spirit Catches You and You Fall Down. But otherwise, there's not a lot out there. So let me just tell you a little bit about my epilepsy. I was diagnosed in 2007 with generalized epilepsy, different from the kind of epilepsy that the main character, who is Lily O'Connor in the book, it's different, a different kind of epilepsy from what she has. But I honestly think that everyone's epilepsy is a little bit different, because our bodies are different, our brains are different. Nobody really knows why I have epilepsy. I had one neurologist who thought that I probably had it since I was born, and I had a minor operation, but I was completely under anesthesia, and so they think that somehow brought it to the surface. And Jason and I had been married, I think, 1.5 years. It is not a pleasant disease. You lose control. You can definitely lose control of your bladder, your bowels. You can have conversations with people that you will never, ever remember. It's like if you were to watch a film and there's just little pieces of the film that are cut out of it, and you'll never get them back. So it was a really difficult time for Jason and I, and yeah, but I was so fortunate in the fact that I had someone with me, because Lily does not. Lily is alone, and Lily's relationships, once the men in her life experience one of her seizures or watch that happen, they're out of there. Because like I said, it's not a great, it's not much fun to be around, and that's just how it is. And then of course, you know, there's the medications you take, which are so powerful, which are so strong, and they have their own side effects. I remember one of the drugs I take, a side effect was being really, was kind of anger issues. And I didn't think that I had that until later. I looked back on that kind of period, that stretch where I started taking that medication, and realized I had been really angry. And Lily is very angry in this book. I guess I should have said at the very beginning, like, this is not a G video on my channel. I try very hard not to swear, but I will tell you, like, Lily Lily has no problem telling people to fuck off. She tells the paramedics that all the time. Like, no, I don't want to go to the hospital. Like, I don't want to talk to these doctors. And, you know, in part, it's frustrating because you feel like you know your body better than some of these other people do. And myself, if I had a choice between going with the paramedics or having Jason take care of me, I would totally have Jason take care of me and be with me because, because he knows my epilepsy so well. Jason has been present for every single seizure except one, and that's the only time I ever had a seizure by myself. And I will tell you, like, I have no recollection. I don't remember being on the floor, getting up off the floor. I don't remember any of it. It is gone. So like I said, I think my struggle with the book and the film is that it just strikes very close to home. Just to give you a little sense of more of the plot, aside from the fact that it's about epilepsy. So Lily lives in like a kind of a seafront, touristy town. She works in a casino, and her mom, who's just incredibly abusive, dies, and she goes back just to see her body, and she doesn't go to the funeral or anything like that because her mom was just a really horrible person. And then she has two brothers, Barry and Mikey, and Barry decides to sell their mom's house. And for some reason, there's like, I don't know, something happening in that neighborhood, that town, that other town, not the seafront town that Lily lives in, but this other town, like, it's kind of having a resurgence. And so property values are going up, and there's a chance for the three of them to make a good chunk of change. Maybe not to live off for forever, but to definitely, you know, not worry about having to work, you know, for a stretch of time. So Lily takes that money and goes looking for her other brother, Mikey. And I think one of the things I didn't like about the book is that she's so tough. Like, Lily's so tough. And the epilepsy, I think, in some ways has made her even tougher because she's just covered with scars, and just really physically beat up. But she goes to London, and it's like she's like this lost little girl, and she gets suckered into, you know, things that she really shouldn't. She, I think, engages, and this isn't necessarily just while she's in London, but she engages in behavior that, like, I wouldn't recommend to somebody who has epilepsy. I don't go searching for strobe lights. I don't drink anymore, which, you know, which I do miss, but I have I don't know whether it's the epilepsy or the medication, which is also one of the struggles of it, but it is like someone is cutting my brain in half. That is the experience I have from a tiny, like, communion wine. Just like, and it's right away. And it's not a seizure, but it's very painful. And so obviously I try not to seek that out. But Lily can drink, and I think she's, in the book, I think she smokes some pot or something like that. I know one of her brother Barry offers her some cocaine, and she's like, I can't, you know, with my meds and everything, like, I can't do that stuff anymore. So yeah, so it was reading the book, and I don't know if I showed this to you because I've done so many takes of this video. So this is kind of how, you know, Lily's having a seizure. How well you can see that, but and she has auras and hallucinations, And I don't ever have those things. I'm just, like I said, I'm just out. I'm just gone. You know, there's another one. I don't know how you would do that in an audiobook, but maybe there wasn't one made. So again, I struggled with kind of her on one hand being such a tough girl. I mean, like the doctors, like they want to take out part of her brain, the part of her brain that is causing her epilepsy. And again, she's just like, fuck you, no way. And I don't blame her, because I would probably say the same thing. My neurologist, my bright spark, does not talk to me about brain surgery because my epilepsy is through my whole brain. Yeah, so the book, the challenge of the book was seeing in depth a character with epilepsy and the people who love that character and how it affects them. And the challenge with the movie was actually watching the seizures. So I'm sure there's videos on YouTube. I'm sure I could find lots of footage of people having seizures. I've never searched it out though. Like, and again, Lily, like anyone with epilepsy, like it all looks a little bit different. And so, yeah, I've never done that, but I had to watch it in this film. And, you know, the credits are rolling and I kind of say to Jason, do I make this sound? Do I do this? And Jason's like, yeah, you do. And it's, especially in a film, I mean, because you know, you can look at this page and know that things are wrong. Things are very wrong. The sound in the movie is coming from such a deep, deep place in the body. It does not sound human. It is terrifying to hear, and more terrifying to realize that I do that. So I felt empathy for Lily in a way that I don't, you know, on a very different level than I feel for, you know, in other books, because I want her to be safe, and I don't want her to always be waking up and wondering. In the film, at one point, she's like, my God, she has to call the front desk to ask what day it is, and she realizes she's lost 2 days. She has no idea what happened the last 2 days. She probably hasn't eaten anything. She's probably been sleeping for most of it, but yeah, all this time just gets sucked down. And, you know, it's just so hard for me, because I really, really want to make this video, and I really want to tell this story, because I want people to know that this is out there, because there are so few books. And I want people to know that if you have epilepsy and you need someone to talk to, like, I'm happy to talk to you. One of the things Jason and I have been able to do is that when we find couples who one of them has epilepsy, like Jason's able to talk to the caregiver and I can talk to the person with the epilepsy, and we can find ways to help both of them. Reading the book and watching the film, I think, brought Jason and I closer together, even though he read this book more than 10 years ago. It was published in the States in 2006, so it's been out there for a while, but like I said, we haven't seen anything else like this since then. And I certainly don't want to spend a whole lot of time reading about people with epilepsy, but it does make you think. And I don't know. I don't want to say sober up, because I've been sober for a long time. It makes you want to drink, I guess, maybe is is my problem, at least with it. Like, oh man. So again, I do want to stress, like, I have been so fortunate in the sense that I've had very few seizures. I was diagnosed, you know, as an adult. I had done a lot of things I never would have done earlier in my life if I had known I had epilepsy. I'm so glad I didn't have to go through middle school and high school with epilepsy. I can't even imagine. And there are a lot of people out there who have epilepsy as children and grow out of it. But that is not the case for Lily. And if I did have it, like I said, it did not emerge until 2007. So yeah, but I just wanted to share this book, let you know that the movie is available so that you can watch it. And remember to be kind to yourself and be kind to others. You never know what other people are going through. I will talk to you very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, BookTube.